to the German Panzer III. It's a little old by designs, but the Germans are throwing pretty much in anything they have by this stage of the war. You have a German M4A3E8. It's called the Easy 8. Has a 76 millimeter gun, very effective on most German armors. And pretty much even the big stuff if he catches it from the back or the side. The Americans had the great advantage of a lot of supply. American production was war-winning. The Americans had more tanks in France than the Germans made during the entire war. And that is something. You see an American armored car that got a little too close to the Germans. That is a M20 armored car that carries personnel. It's with a 50 caliber machine gun, very similar to the German armored car. It goes in, scouts, has enough firepower to do a little damage and get out of there quick. The American infantry is in the half-tracks. Half-tracks were used by the Americans and the Germans to transport troops. The Americans weren't really fighting vehicles. They did have some support with the machine guns, but they weren't at the front lines. The armor of the half-track was such that it was mainly good for artillery shrapnel, which is kind of lower velocity. The German squads are moving up, and you can see the German squad leaders moving, and they're advancing. The Panzer III is firing at the Sherman, but it doesn't look like it's hurting the Sherman any much. Incidentally, if you saw the movie Fury, the type of Sherman that we have out here is exactly the same type that was in that movie. German fires again. The Americans are trying to advance, trying to liberate more French soil, while the Germans are desperately trying to hold off the Allied onslaught as they edge closer and closer to the German Reich and the home and fatherland. Some of the other smaller vehicles, you see a German Opel truck, you see a Kummerwagen, and yes, that is a Volkswagen Beetle. That was designed in 1938, and that was used by the German Army. Now the Americans are pressing forward.